let's see today's lovely recipe of Goan prawn and bhendi kaldin. Let's go through the ingredients. Here I have 1 teaspoon of pepper powder, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder and half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. 1 medium onion chopped fine, 1 small tomato chopped fine, half a cup of prawns and 4 bhendis or ladyfingers, 7 to 8 cloves of lavang and 5 cloves of garlic chopped fine, 1 tablespoon of vinegar and 1 cup of thick coconut milk, some salt to taste. So those are all the ingredients that we need. Now I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil to a pan. So while the oil is getting nice and hot, I'm going to mix all of these powder masalas well together. And then I'm going to add the vinegar to the powder masalas and mix everything to make a nice thick paste. Now we want the oil to be nice and hot, so on a low to medium flame I'm going to heat the oil up. And like I said, I'm going to add this vinegar to the masalas and I'm going to mix them well till they become a nice paste. Now this is a very refreshing light curry and it goes best with some lovely rice. So that's done. And now that our oil is hot, I'm going to add the cloves or the lavangs. I'm going to fry them a bit so that they flavor the oil really well. And now I'm going to add the chopped up garlic. Now it's always very handy that, if you peel some garlic and keep it in a small airtight container in your refrigerator so that you don't need to, sit and last minute, clean up and peel up garlic. Now I'm going to add some chopped onion and saute it well. We're going to fry this onion till it becomes nice and translucent. So this curry, if you haven't tried out this Goan Kaldin curry, you should because it's really, really delicious. Now I'm going to add this mix powder paste of pepper, coriander, cumin and turmeric. Now I'll leave the video link of how I prepare my powder masalas at home. That is for coriander, pepper and cumin. How I prepare my powders masalas at home. I'll leave a link to my video. Now I'm going to add the coconut milk. And we're going to mix all of this really, really well. Well, already my kitchen has such a beautiful, the aroma of this kaldin is really, really it's very mild, but it's really very nice. Now I'm just going to flavor it with some salt to taste. And this kaldin gets ready also pretty quickly, as you will see. Now I'm going to add the prawns. Now the quantity that I'm making is just enough for 2 people. So if you want to make it for 4, then just double the quantity. Then I'm going to add the tomatoes. And we're going to mix everything nicely well together. Cook on a low to medium heat, stirring in between. And now I'm going to add these lady fingers that I've just, cut off the tips. And I'm adding it to the curry. And now we're just going to cover and cook this for about 7 to 8 minutes so that the prawns as well as the lady fingers or the bhendi gets cooked. So on a low to medium heat, on a very low heat actually, just cook it for about 7 minutes. Now you'll see that the curry has really thickened up or the kaldin has thickened up. So we're going to add about 1/4 cup of water. We don't want it to be very watery like a stew, but we have to have a little bit of thickish consistency. So I'm just going with about 1/4 cup of water. So add that and then mix everything or stir everything well. Now I also have another recipe for a fish kaldin, so I'll leave the link for that also below so you can go and check it out. And again I'm going to cover and just cook this for about 2 minutes so that everything comes together. And then we're just going to turn off the heat and our kaldin is all ready. This is super, super delicious, guys, and the aroma also is so beautiful. So give this a try and let me know in the comment section as to how you like it. the today's simple methi bhaji. Now here I have just soaked the methi leaves in water with some salt added to it for about 15 to 20 minutes, then drained it out, rinsed it well, and then put it into a colander and let all the water seep out. Now once all the water is seeped out, I'm just going to chop them up and cut the methi really fine. Now at the end of this video, you will see how I clean methi and how I store it also. And basically you got to use this in a day or two that when you purchase it. So it's fresh. Don't keep it for very long, for about a day or two maximum. So at the end of the video, I've shown you how I pluck the methi leaves and how I store them. Also, friends, I'm just going to pop in because I want you all to know about something. So it'll just take half a minute, but there's something I'd like all of you guys to know about. So keep watching. Akshata here. I just wanted to pop in and let you know about my Amazon storefront. I get loads and loads of questions as to Akshata, what is this gas top that you're using? What is your oven, the brand of your oven? What is the capacity of the oven? What is the make? Then what are the measuring cups that you use? What are the different cake tins that you use? So all of this I have put up on my storefront along with other categories like electronics, phones. This is basically stuff that I buy or I keep on my wish list, and I would recommend that you can buy them. They're one of the best deals with regard to quality as well as prices. So I've categorized them into different categories like pots and pans, baking essentials, cooking essentials, health, foods. So you can go and check it out. The link is down below. And you can just click on it, it'll take you directly to the Amazon storefront. And even if you're looking out for something and you would like to know what are the best deals happening, you can write to me down in the comment section, or my email address is there down in the comment section. Just click on the email, it'll take you to, you can just write to me as to what you're looking for, and I can send you a mail back telling you what are the best recommended products. So that's what I wanted to tell you, and now back to the video, guys. And now getting back to the recipe. So here I've taken a pan and I've added 1 teaspoon of oil. Now once our oil starts to heat up, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. I'm then going to add 3 green chilies that I've just cut into half and fry the chilies really well. Now I'm going to add 4 cloves of garlic that I've just crushed to a very coarse paste. Now I've got to fry the garlic also well. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or heenga and half a teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder. Now I've chopped up 1 medium onion fine, and I'm going to add that, and I'm going to fry the onion also well. Now I'm just going to cover and cook this pan, cover and cook the onions till they become a little bit soft. Once that is done, I'm going to add my chopped up methi leaves. And I'm going to fry everything really, really well, or mix everything really, really well. So see that the onions and the methi and the bagar, is really mixed nicely. Now this methi doesn't take a long time to cook. So now I'm just going to cover and cook it for about 2 minutes, stirring in between. Now after 2 minutes, just give it a gentle stir. And now we're just going to flavor it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar, because methi has a little bit of bitterness in it. So I'm going to add some salt to taste. And I'm also going to add a pinch of sugar. Now mix everything really, really well. Now if you watch the video till the end, I'll show you, how to buy the right kind of methi also. So keep watching the video till the end. And again, after 2 minutes, just cook, just cover and cook for another 2 minutes, and again stir in between. And then now we're going to cook it without the cover for another 2 minutes. And just let all the water dry up. And that's it, friends. Your lovely simple methi bhaji is all ready to enjoy. And now I'm going to tell you how I clean the methi. So basically, just pluck the leaves out. Now, when you're buying the methi, first, you just have to buy the methi which has this very white kind of a stalk, a very thin kind of stalk like this, not the very thick kind of stalk. Even the leaves have to look very fresh and tiny. They shouldn't look very dark green. They shouldn't be very thick, but they should be very tender like this. So just pluck out the leaves, and what I like to do is I like to store it in some paper because that way it lasts long. But like I said, don't keep the methi for more than a day or two. Just, I mean, the day you buy it, clean it up and, use it up either that day or the next day, because it does have a very short life. And if you, store it for more than 2 days, you'll see that there's a lot of moisture and some of the leaves start to wilt. So I generally buy the methi, clean it up the same day and use it up the same day or the next day at the most. So then once I've cleansed the methi, I just kind of, put it into some paper like this. This is one way of storing it. And another way of storing it is how I just show you how I do it with all my leafy vegetables. This is coriander, of course, but I put paper at the base of the. So friends, today I'm going to show you how I cook rice. So here I've taken 1.5 cup of kolam rice. Now we use this good quality kolam for everyday cooking. So I've taken about 1.5 cup of rice. This should suffice about, 2 people if you eat a lot of it. Otherwise 4 people if you just have a little rice. So now I'm going to wash the rice really well under running water thrice. Now I don't discard this water. I use it for my plants. And then I'm going to add 3 cups of water and I'm going to boil this on a high flame. So we're going to keep it on a high flame, watching it till the water starts to boil. Now once the water starts to boil, I'm going to lower it to low to medium. And then you can see right now the rice is still raw. So we have to cook it till it's really nice and soft and cooked really well like this, but not mushy. So once this is done, just I have a sieve here, I have a lid and a kitchen napkin. So I'm just going to invert the thing like this. I'm just going to drain out all the water first, and then I'm just going to let it rest on this sieve for about 10 minutes till all the water comes out. Now you can have the water, some people do drink the water by adding a little bit of salt. And then our rice is all ready. So it's not mushy, but it's just the right consistency. So you can enjoy this rice with any of your favorite dishes. So let's see today's lovely coconut chutney and coconut chutney sandwiches. So here I've taken 1/2 cup of freshly grated coconut. Try to use fresh coconut rather than using coconut which is in the refrigerator. 1/4 cup of fresh coriander. 2 light green chilies that I've just chopped fine. 2 cloves of garlic that I've chopped fine. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. 1 inch of ginger which I've just grated. About 1/4 teaspoon of sugar and some salt to taste. So these are the very few ingredients that you require, and a little bit of water, about 2 to 3 tablespoons to grind while grinding this chutney. So I'm just going to add all of these ingredients to my mixer. Now this chutney can be also used, for idlis, dosas, upma. And today I'm going to show you how to make chutney sandwiches using this lovely, fresh and delicious chutney. So I'm just going to add all the ingredients, squeeze the lime. And then I'm just going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, and I'm going to grind this to this paste, and our chutney is ready. So I'm just going to transfer this to a nice airtight glass container. And I store it in the refrigerator in the chiller section for about 2 to 3 days. Do not store this fresh coconut chutney for more than 2 to 3 days, because then coconut is perishable, doesn't have a very long shelf life. So try to use the chutney within about 2 to 3 days. Now I'm going to just take 4 slices of sandwich bread. Try to use the thick sandwich bread, which is wider also, and just cut off the edges. If you like the edges, you can keep the edges, but I like to make them without the edges. And I use the edges to make some breadcrumbs so it doesn't go to waste also. So just take off the edges of the sides. And now I'm just going to apply a little bit of butter to all the 4 slices. Just a little, not too much. This helps us to, it elevates the taste of the sandwich, as well as it helps us to, nicely spread out the chutney too. So I'm just going to evenly spread out this green fresh coconut chutney. Put a nice generous helping of it onto one of the buttered slices. Just spread it out with a knife like this so it gets spread to all the corners of the bread. And then just place another buttered slice on top of it. And now we're just going to cut it up into half. And then if you like these mini sandwiches, which we at our place like really a lot, I'm going to cut it up again. So I'm going to get 4 sandwiches out of 2 slices. And they look really pretty when they are, in this, mini like this. So with the butter and the chutney, it tastes simply delicious. So do give this recipe a try, guys. So, friends, let's start with today's recipe. Now, here I have one large tomato which I've chopped very fine into these small little cubes, one large capsicum chopped very fine. This is one large onion chopped very fine. These are about 6 to 7 large cloves of garlic chopped very fine. So if you chop them up really fine, it gets everything gets blended well together. Now here I have about 1 teaspoon of chaat masala, some fresh coriander, about 1/4 cup. This is about 2 tablespoons of pav bhaji masala and 1 inch of ginger grated, and a little bit of butter as required. Now here in a pan I'm going to be heating 1 teaspoon of oil as well as half a tablespoon of butter. Now you can skip the butter if you don't want, but it adds a lovely flavor. Now I'm going to add the onion and I'm going to fry the onion really well. Now I'm going to add my grated ginger and I'm going to fry everything really well. Next goes in the tomato and I'm going to cover and cook till the tomato gets nice and cooked. Now I'm going to add some red Kashmiri chili powder. This is optional, just for the color. Next goes in some salt to taste. Again, I'm going to cover and cook till the onions and the tomato leave out some liquid. Now I'm going to add the capsicum, and I'm going to fry the capsicum well too. Now I'm going to add the pav bhaji masala and fry everything well. The aroma in my kitchen is just fantastic with this pav bhaji masala. And now I'm going to add the chaat masala. This also really enhances the flavor of this dish. And now I'm going to fry everything really, really well. And I'm going to add my fresh coriander and turn off the flame. I'm going to mix everything well together, and then I'm just going to set this aside till it comes to room temperature, and I'm going to transfer it into a bowl and set it aside to use later. Now here I've taken about 1 tablespoon of butter and melted it. To this I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of chaat masala and 1/4 teaspoon of cumin or jeera powder, and I'm going to add all of that garlic that I chopped fine as well as the coriander. I'm going to give everything a good mix. Now I'm going to cut up the pav, and I'm going to apply this butter mixture evenly all over the pav. And then I'm going to heat up my pan. I'm using an iron heavy duty pan. I'm going to add a little bit of butter, and I'm going to fry the pav with the butter side down. Next, I'm going to apply the mixture that we had prepared with the onions and the capsicums and the tomato and the pav bhaji masala onto 1/2 of each pav, and a little bit of grated cheese. Then I'm just going to close the pav like this. Prepare as many as I require. So this was my family, so I prepared about 2 pavs for each person. This is a little bit on the heavy side, so those of you who are health conscious or at the moment on a diet, this is definitely not for you. And now I'm just going to apply a little bit of butter onto the pav, and I'm just going to nicely roast the top of the pav. Like I said, this is heavy on the tummy, so you can have just 1 or just 2 at the most. And you're just going to fry the pav till it becomes nice and golden brown. And your masala garlic cheese pav is all ready, and it is super, super delicious. Do give it a try, guys. It's really worth it. Ice cream recipe. It's real fun to make and really delicious. So here I made about a liter of vanilla ice cream. I'll leave the recipe link of how I made the vanilla ice cream. Now here I've just layered my loaf tin with some cling foil or plastic foil, because that way it'll be very easy to lift the cassata ice cream once it's ready. Now I've just got some sliced cake. I'll leave a recipe for my vanilla slice cake cake recipe too. I've just cut them up into very thin slices like this, and I'm just going to form a layer at the bottom, a very thin layer. Cut up the pieces, so that they fit exactly. Like this. So just press them down so that they form a firm layer without any gaps in between. Now I've divided the vanilla ice cream into 3 equal parts. To 1 part I'm going to add about a cup of mango puree. This is the puree out of 1 mango exactly. And I'm going to mix it in really well. Now if you don't have mangoes at home, you can just add the mango color and the mango essence. So mix it in well till you get this lovely pale orange or pale yellow kind of color. So now I'm just going to pour this into on top of the cake to about 2 inches of thickness. And then I'm going to freeze this for about at least 2 hours. After that, to the next part, I'm going to add some strawberry essence, and I'm going to add a little bit of pink color. Now ensure that the first layer is completely solidified, and then only add the second layer, otherwise the 2 colors will mix together. Then again freeze this for about 2 hours, and to the third layer I'm going to add some pista color or light green color along with some pista essence. And when the second layer is solidified, add the third pista layer. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of chopped cashew nuts. And then I'm going to put a cling foil on top of it so that we don't have any ice crystals forming on top. And then you're going to freeze this overnight or for at least minimum of 8 to 10 hours. Don't be in a hurry to demold it, guys. And then once it's ready, just lift up the cling foil. It comes off very easily. And then again, I'm going to put a lot of chopped nuts on top. And just press the nuts on top. You have to work very fast. Otherwise, it will just start to melt. And your cassata is all ready. And now I'm just going to cut it up. So transfer it to a cutting board. It's easier that way. And use a nice sharp knife. It does require a little bit of extra effort because it's frozen. And you can see how the layers are formed and you have the nice cake base at the bottom and lots of nuts on the top. And this is one slice of cassata. It's delicious, guys. You have to try this out. I thought I'd just share this recipe with you. You can make whatever flavors you want. So I hope you try out this recipe. I hope you like this recipe. And if you do, don't forget to leave this a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to Akshata's recipes. I've got loads and loads of recipes. So do visit my channel. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'll catch you in my next video sooner than you think. This is Akshata signing off. Bye.